Ding, 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 bing, ding, 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 ding. Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to whatever it is I do here. I am Brendan, the Chili Dork. Ding! And today I just wanted to take a few minutes and show you my plants and where they're at. Some look good, some look bad, but I don't care either way. I think that they are going to rock. I've got some more plants coming this week from chiliplants.com, but until then I just wanted to show you what I got over here. As you can see as I pan, I don't have that many, but what I have is incredibly interesting in my opinion. So I'm gonna flip the camera around and show you what I got going on. Alrighty, as you can see, most of the bigger stuff that I started earlier this year or last year is in their summer homes, while I have these three down here. I also have one upstairs still inside that accidentally came with one of these two. It was two plants in the same container. Turns out that second plant was variegated, so I believe it to be a candy cane. And the only reason I believe that is because the place that sold it to me, that is their variegated this year. So let's go through what I've got. I've got a couple in the back. Okay, so I hope you can see what I'm doing even with everything in the background. So this guy here, who's looking okay, but as you can see, like, this stem isn't too bad. This is the Acoma, or no, I'm sorry, I got rid of the Acoma because it totally died. This is the Ahipanca that I had last year. I only got one pod off of it, and it was amazing. I've been wanting to grow the Ahipanca since 2014. The minute I heard about it, I wanted it. And it is a Chinense from South America that is just, I don't know, ripens to a nice brown. It kind of looks like the Ahi Amarillo, but a little more wrinkly and brown. It's awesome. And I'm a big fan, so I kept it alive all winter. This is the one, this is the New Mexican Canancito. I'm gonna come around, so I want to get closer to it because I love it. This is the New Mexican Canancito. It's hard to see, but this thing has so many buds. Before I transplanted it into this container, I probably pulled off 50 or 60 buds in the few weeks that I had it in its other home. But yes, this is the New Mexican Canancito. Apparently it is a strain that's grown by a single family in a corner of New Mexico for 200 years or something. So it's kind of like one of the landrace New Mex varieties. I don't really know anything about it. The seeds were a gift from my friend Matt, and I am really, really excited. These two here, who just look like crap, and I know that, and that's fine. These are Caramello plants. Caramello is an accidental heatless Chinense that my friend Brian ended up with. Brian Townsend of Townsend Chili and Spices in Florida. If you need fresh pods or seeds, hit him up. So these leaves look like shit because I let them get too much sun. But if you look, the new growth on them is amazing. And this one's a little smaller, so I'm not too worried about it. I don't really get too worried about my plants having damage or anything like that. I notice a lot of new growers will say, like, what is this dot on my leaf? Or why is this one leaf curling? And all I ever want to say is don't worry about it, you're fine. Pepper plants are pretty tough, you'll be okay. So I like to practice a distanced parenting when it comes to my plants. A lot of people would trim these off or whatever they'll do. I don't really care. I'll let the sun get in some of them. I'll pluck off one dead one here or there, but it doesn't really bother me at all. But these are the Caramello. They're really, really good. This guy right here, look at all that new growth. I don't top my plants. I don't see the point for no other reason than the yield doesn't really matter. I've done some side-by-sides. The ones topped versus the ones untopped have the same yield, they just look different. And for my growing season, it slows it down so bad that I would rather have my peppers sooner. So, but this one was really tall, had no buds, nothing going on. So I figured I wouldn't really be losing much since it hadn't really produced a flower or anything yet anyway. So I topped it. You can see, chopped it right there. And for all of you who top or know what topping looks like, this is no surprise, and it looks really good, and I'm really happy. But this is the, it's an orange sweet macadam that my friend Chip Taylor sent to me years ago. He just called it Ahi Dulce. Dulce is the Italian pronunciation. Dulce is the Puerto Rican pronunciation. D-U-L-C-E. It just translates to sweet pepper. Right here, I've got one called Grandma Perry's Sweet Italian. Last year, a guy on a guy on Craigslist was selling seedlings of a sweet Italian pepper that his grandmother had grown for years, as far back as the 1920s, and then when she came to America, she brought it with her and grew it all the way up to her death, and then he grows it, and he sold me a whole bunch of seedlings and seeds, and so I'm growing it. I managed to get one pod last year, not ripe. It was late in the season, and it was awesome, and I love sweet Italians. So this guy, the growth habit on this guy is just nuts. There's buds everywhere. I'm really, really stoked. That is the most unique growth habit of a chinense I've ever seen. This is the NMCA 300-36. I can't tell you where I got it, but I'm extremely stoked that this thing is growing for me. I'm gonna give you no more information about that right now. Go ahead and look it up if you want. And then finally, I have my three little guys. I just picked up some random plants from the greenhouse by me when I went to pick up soil. These two here are what's called the Chile Grande, and this is red super hot, but it's getting some funky leaves. I'll probably just pluck them off and whatever, it's not that big a deal. But the Chile Grande is more important to me. I am a big fan of this pepper. It's about the heat of a cayenne, but it's got the fleshy thickness of a ripe jalapeno. So just imagine having a nice plump jalapeno that's like 2 or 3 times as hot as any jalapeno you've ever had, and you have a Chile Grande. I grew this for the first time in 2014, and I've grown it every year since. I love this thing. But as of right now, these are my plants. If you've made it this far with me, I'm glad you hung on for this video. So, like I said, I have 6 more coming this week from chiliplants.com. I tried to find the weirdest ones that they had of names I've never heard of, besides the Piauzinho, which I grew last year. Amazing. The thing about chiliplants.com is most of their stuff is sold out, but it's all the stuff everyone's heard of. If it's a chili that is not a very common name, people tend to want to grow it less. So you can get some of the best tasting and neatest chilies out there just because it's not a Reaper, or it's not a Scotch Bonnet, or something else that's equally as popular. I really find a lot of joy in the lesser known chilies. I think they have more distinct flavors, but that's just me. Anyway, that's it. I'm just gonna keep rambling all day if I don't stop, so I'm gonna stop. Be well, inspired to perspire, and have a lovely however long it is till I see you next. Take it easy.